CarolinaPrepper.com. If you're looking for quality food storage for hiking, fishing, hunting, basic survival needs, or just for everyday use, check out our food storage line at CarolinaPrepper.com. We also carry other fine quality products such as our can concealment holsters for men and women. Keeping your firearm under cover and within reach puts confidence in your hands in any situation. Our products are 100% American made. Check us out today at CarolinaPrepper.com.
And now,
how are you here on this Monday? How's everybody doing? Good to see you. Shauna, Robin, Hidden Jim, Mary Ann. Hello, hello. Shannon, good morning. Mermom. Hey, Alexis, good to see you. How is everybody? Everybody have a great weekend. Hey, Roll, how are you? Good morning, Harold. Jackie, good to see you. Okay, I'm going to begin really quickly here. I'm going to read Psalm 125 as you're coming in and inviting all of your followers. XXBB2588, how are you? Good to see you. Okay, so those who trust in the Lord are like Mount Zion, which cannot be moved but abides forever. As the mountains surrounded Jerusalem, so the Lord surrounds his people from this time forth and forever. For the scepter of wickedness shall not rest on the land allotted to the righteous, lest the righteous reach out their hands to iniquity. Do good, O Lord, to those who are good, and to those who are upright in their hearts. As for such as turn aside to their crooked ways, the Lord shall lead them away with the workers of iniquity. Peace be upon Israel. Hey, Jerry, good morning. All right. Hey, Jules, good to see you. Carmen, good to see you as well. All right, so we have a lot of news. Hey, Daniel, good to see you. Let's see, some breaking news that we have first. I don't know if you heard, but a car tried to ram the gate at the Royal Air Force, is based in Suffolk, and the United States uses that. Just gave a dog a bath. Oh, wow, you got a bath too. Yeah, Jerry, that happens, I know. So that is something. The person that tried to ram the gate is in custody, and Haley, although it is in Suffolk, it is a base that the United States uses. I know. So we can only imagine what that was about. Not. Hey, Lori, how are you? In other news, the Dow and the NASDAQ opened at record highs, assuming that the tax plan is going to go through. They're all very happy about that. So that should do well. And let's see, in other news, I have an article out today on my SusanKnowles.com, basically in regards, Prince Harry again interviewed Obama. Oh. Well, does it really surprise anybody? Dow is going up, up, up. Yep, everybody is really excited about the new tax reform and hoping everything works out with that. My article is about Jeff Sessions. If you would please share that. Again, it's at SusanKnowles.com. And it's saying that maybe it's time for Jeff Sessions to go. You know, while I really do like Jeff Sessions, thank you, Shauna. I really like him. I think he's an honorable man. Hey, Wendell. I just think for a time such as we're in right now, he's not the bulldog that we need. There are too many things going on, too many things with so many investigations that really need to be done, and he's not doing anything about it. If he is, he's certainly not telling the American public. He's not saying that we're going to get a special prosecutor, which we really need, and look into everything concerning Hillary and all the Mueller biases. We have no clue what Sessions is really doing. I know. Big meeting at the White House tomorrow. On what, Marianne? There's some closed-door meetings going on today and tomorrow with the House and the Senate. Yeah, and it's really a shame. I supported Jeff Sessions in the beginning. I understand why he needed to recuse himself. I was in agreement with that. You know, if you're an attorney, you understand about ethics and what you have to do. But Mueller and the Trump lawyers, well, they should be meeting. There's some information going around that Mueller may have illegally Hey, Cully, may have illegally gotten information in regards to Trump's people in violation of the attorney-client privilege and also Fourth Amendment. One of the attorneys, Langhofer, fired off a 7-page letter to the House. I believe it was the House and the Senate, but it may have just been the Senate Intel Committee, saying, there's a problem here and this needs to be looked into. No emails were lawfully obtained. Well, Hidden Gem, they're talking about other things, saying they may not have been, and what was in the emails may have been attorney-client privilege, and you can't do that. You can't get it and use it. Hey, Huey, Periscope keeps freezing you out. I know, Jules. I would just say keep trying to come back in. I like the guy, Dad blame it. I know. I like him too, Carmen. I do like Sessions. I don't think there's anything wrong with Sessions and what he does. I just don't think he's bulldog enough to handle what's going on right now. Once the swamp was exposed, I think we need somebody that's a lot tougher and a lot more on the ball about getting things done. And I don't think Sessions is that person right now, unfortunately. It's not that he's doing a bad job. It's just that he's not doing the job that we need him to do right now. So, if you would share that article with everybody. I'm on Facebook restriction, so I can't really share it. But if you would do that, it would be great. We need a dozen Trey Gowdies. We do, Huey, and we need, before Trey Gowdy would do a lot of stuff like with Benghazi and nothing would happen. I think a lot of that, no, it's not a book. It's a website. It's the same one, but just a different name. Carolina Storage, foodstorage.com. Make sure, yeah, carolinafoodstorage.com. All about food that you need for everyday use or in emergencies. So, yeah. Welcome, Brooks86. How are you? You've been naughty again. I know. Yeah, Facebook puts me on restriction just about every week, to be honest with you. Just because I think they never say why that I'm on restriction, but I think it's because I post a lot in the groups. Sounds like Kushner's in trouble. He's employed a crisis management company. Well, they're looking at his financials, Sessions won my heart when I saw him protect his grandkids like a big dog. Yes, like I say, Carmen, there's nothing wrong with him. He hasn't done anything wrong. In fact, he's pretty ethical, and that's the type of attorney general that we need. But what we need is somebody who's going to just go and grind until they get the information that they need. Trey Gowdy is that person. As I was saying before, he didn't have the teeth behind him to go after people and really get them under Obama administration. He would have the teeth under a Trump administration, but he doesn't want the job. At least he didn't want the job before, and I don't know if there's any way to make him want the job now. So, yeah, I'm just not sure. I heard they didn't want. Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't. But he is the only one that I know of right now who would be a bulldog and would not let up. He would be like a dog holding on to a bone, and that's what we need. Somebody like that. Twitter's new rules starting today. Will be interesting to see how that affects us. Yes, I know. Twitter is also, they've already banned Robert Spencer. His personal account and his national account he had have both been banned on Twitter. So that's new as of this weekend. I think it was Sunday they banned him. So we'll see. I think, Gowdy would be good. Had to go in and out to get back. Lost connection. That works. There, good, Shauna. Thought you were going to say that you went to In-N-Out restaurant there, Shauna. I was going to say that's kind of early, but you probably don't have one in Florida anyway. So I think people are having a hard time on YouTube finding me this morning. YouTube has started a new beta studio, and it seems like I'm getting the message here that if I'm not going to use it, they're not going to allow my video to stream very well. So, yeah, Kushner is totally fine. Nothing there. Always Jules. They have to bring up something, So I didn't really report on it just because I know, Marianne. I'm going to leave it alone for a minute if I can. A lot of times if you get rid of the repeat bot, they just come back more. So I was going to wait and see what happened. I know. In-N-Out burgers. Okay, so here's some news. This couldn't be better news. Linda Sarsour, you know her from the Little Pink Hats. She is also a Palestinian, she claims, although she was born here. she is accused of enabling sexual assault and sexual harassment in the workplace of a woman who says that she was groped and had unwanted touching. She brought it to Sarsour's attention when she was executive director of Arab American Association. This is per the Daily Caller. And Sarsour attacked her for bringing the allegations often and body shamed her because the accused, she said, according to this woman, was that Sarsour said he was a good Muslim who was always at the mosque. The woman said that it was an unsafe and abusive environment for women, and Sarsour threatened legal and professional damage if she went public with her sexual assault claims. So there you go. So there's more and more women are starting to be uncovered for allowing sexual assault and harassment allegations only at this point, and for people who may have been involved in sexual misconduct. She is disgraceful. Yes. Cover up by Linda. Yes. Absolutely. It sounds like it, and so we'll see how far that one goes. We'll see if CARE comes to her rescue, perhaps, and it won't go any further than that, but we don't know yet. And let's see. Some other news. This will, Sarsour is disgusting. Yeah. I almost call her Sarsour all the time because of the way the name is spelled, and it seems kind of appropriate, so I have to really stop myself and say Sarsour every time. Now, for you football fans out there, the Carolina Panthers are going to be up for sale because, CARE don't care. Oh, CARE will care about that, Cully. Trust me. Carolina Panthers is going to be sold because Sarsour, there you go. Richardson has announced that he's going to sell it in light of sexual misconduct allegations that surround him. And he says what he wants to do is sell it right away. P. Diddy, you remember P. Diddy, Sean Combs, he wants to buy it, and he wants to immediately sign Colin Kaepernick as the quarterback and let him compete with the current quarterback and see who gets the job. So I'm hoping that P. Diddy will get outbid by somebody else. When I was in the UK, there was a vinegar brand called that. Yeah, I know, Huey. It's like, ugh. Yep, bye-bye, Panther owner. Mr. Panther owner, yep. Well, I mean, you knew somebody like that was going to come along and do that sooner or later. It's the only way Colin's going to get a job. And I think if he competes with the current quarterback, he's probably still not going to have a job. He can sit on the sidelines. Hey, Julia, I hope he does. He'll be embarrassed. Exactly. That would be good. That way he'll see what Kaepernick's really about. No more Panther gear. Yep. Bye-bye Panthers. I don't watch them. I don't have their gear. I'm from Carolina. They're dead to me. That type of thing. So doesn't really matter to me what they do. I haven't continuing still not to watch the NFL. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm still not watching. So we have the UN Security Council who's set to vote, I think today, rejecting President Trump's Jerusalem recognition. That was submitted by Egypt, giving my Florida Real Panthers a bad name. Yep, Colin never beat out Newton. No, he won't. He can't beat himself. It's like if he were playing against himself, he'd still lose. So anyway, the U.S. is expected to veto on that vote, of course. And again, I'm not sure, why we still keep going. I guess there's still going to be objections for as long as possible on the recognition of Israel, Jerusalem as the capital, Israel. And, I guess they're still not giving up on the fact they want East Jerusalem as their capital. So, why not do it and be done with it? But they want an official rejection by the UN Security Council. Yep, no NFL in your family either, Carmen. UN vote does not matter. It never has, Bob. It's just it will matter to the people in the Middle East. Won't matter to us. It won't change anything. It won't change the fact that God made Jerusalem Israel's capital in the first place. Let him do whatever. It always, that's what the UN does. It's always insignificant anyway to most people. UN who listens to them, tell them leave New York and us, pay our debts first on the way out. Exactly. Exactly. Now, in other news, the Obama administration delayed, supposedly, an investigation and prosecution against Hezbollah in order to protect its nuclear deal with Iran. So the gift, hey, mighty blessed one, the gift from Obama just keeps on giving. It never stops. I mean, how wonderful is that to find out that instead of going after Hezbollah, as they should have, we just let them go. We didn't do anything about it, so that we could have a great nuclear deal with Iran and give Iran all this money so they can go out and make nuclear weapons and, go over to Syria and threaten Israel and on and on. So, it's the gift that keeps on giving. The Obama administration. The Pope says that he calls fake news a very serious sin. So I thought you'd want to know that. Breaking news right now, Amtrak train just derailed in Washington State. ESPN President John Skipper resigns, citing substance abuse issue, and other breaking news right now. Good morning, Chessie. How are you? Is it true Russia agreed Jerusalem is the capital of the Jews? I haven't heard that, Daniel. Haven't heard that at all. Your hair today looks much more modern. Looking good, girl, doing an awesome job. Well, thank you, Sass. I stopped curling it, that's all. I got tired of curling it, so, it is what it is. Modern or not, it is what it is. Now, something happened in California. I know you're going to think this is crazy, and it's California, and how odd is that? But for whatever reason, near Seattle, in Washington State, I don't know exactly where. No, Russia was against the Israel declaration, Hidden Jim said. So I hadn't heard either way. Hey, Rhonda, good to see you. California issued a warning regarding cell phones over the weekend. They said don't keep it next to your body and don't sleep near your phone. It could cause cancer, infertility, and other issues. Always do an awesome job, Susan. Thank you, Lee. Curly hair or not, right? Hey, Rhonda. So they're saying that children are the most at risk. Hey, Ruthie. And they are just saying you need to reduce your use. Everybody's sitting here trying to scratch their heads going, where did this come from? Why did California put this out now? What is this all about? It's kind of bizarre. It just came out of nowhere. And you would think that California wouldn't want to talk down about, cell phones and cell phone use and discourage the use in California, other than, of course, climate change. But it's just an odd thing to do. Yes, talking about cell phones, Rhonda, the California came out this weekend issuing a warning about cell phone use. So it just makes no sense. Hey, Robin, good morning. Are you feeling okay today? I know Robin was having some issues. Good, give free cell phones to illegal immigrants. Well, you probably already have them, Bob. I'm sure that we were paying for them, even as we speak. Cell phones do have some frequency issues. Use earplugs not next to brain or hip area. Yeah, well, some people say that about the earplugs. And then California went a step further and said, when you're not needing to, don't use your earphones. Don't use your earplugs. ESPN president resigned over drug addiction. Cully, I said that like a couple minutes ago. I don't know if you probably didn't hear that. Hey, Robin, very strange. There's a reason somewhere. Yep. Lots of young girls getting breast cancer from putting it in their bra. Yeah, I've heard that too. Hey, Gary, good to see you. Robin, call the doctor today, Robin, please. Read about that years ago. Study on brain changes with cell phone use. Hey, Matt, how are you? Maybe that explains, Jerry, what's going on with the left. It's like why they're not conservative. They've been using the cell phones too close to the brain. Could that be possible? Have earphones in right now. Julia. Don't let California know that. They'll go crazy over it. You never know what you're going to get out of California. You really don't. I tell you, there's some good news coming out of California. There's a group of residents who filed a lawsuit against Southern California Edison, claiming that the utility company is to blame for that Thomas fire that is still occurring. It started in Ventura and has now gone on to Santa Barbara. So they're claiming that it could be the largest fire in the state's history. 2 people are killed. It's destroyed more than 1,000 structures. The lawsuit says in part that Southern California Edison crews were working around a campfire near the town of Santa Paula are the likely cause of the fire. The suit also alleges that water hydrants operated by the city of Ventura and the other municipal water district didn't work properly. So there you go, Jerry Brown, with your climate change allegations. The first one that they said in Los Angeles was from a illegal migrant camp. And the second one is from Southern California Edison. Those are the allegations. Jerry Brown is still hoping for climate change. So Jerry Brown once again. Why is it called the Thomas Fire? Probably because of the area that it was in, Robin. You know, they just name the fires based upon the area or something like that. That's typically what they do. So there you go. And I hope those people, and I guess they started early because of the fact that there's probably going to be a lot more people. Robin said they won't give me any more meds until I go in Thursday. That's my appointment. They gave me some without a visit already. Aya Eduardo, I just got a new Google account just to watch Susan. Never had Google account before. Thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Location name, yes. That's what they do in California. They name it out of like an area, usually named something or something happened, Witch Creek Fire. It's all kinds of crazy names. But it's still going on in Santa Barbara. It's not good. It just keeps growing. But it's good news for California, for those people who lost their homes and, you know, unfortunately, you can't bring back people who have died. The firefighter this weekend had his funeral was this weekend for Iverson, who was 32. So did I ever find out why you were temporarily blocked from Facebook? Ruthie, they put me on restriction like every week. I think they never say why you're on restriction, but they don't allow you to post in groups for a week. And typically what I do is I post in Donald Trump groups. I don't think they like it. And I also, you know, come out with an article every day, and I'm a regular poster, and they don't like it. But they'll never respond to you, and they won't answer you. So it's censorship. There you go. Yes. Well, construction businesses will have plenty of jobs to do post-fire. Jerry, there was a house it was a mansion in a local area that burned down 3 years ago. And I drove by the area yesterday just to see what it looked like. It was a beautiful house with parents and children living there. They were on vacation. The house burned down. Hey, Richard, good to see you. And if I tell you I like your hair curly, you file me for harassment. Yes, Wayne. If you tell me my hair looks good or that it's curly or straight, I'm going right for sexual harassment. So anyway, the house in 3 years has not been rebuilt. It was the saddest thing in the world to drive by there and see what used to be this beautiful home absolutely destroyed. So Wayne, you know I'm kidding, right? Takes years to get money from insurance or government to rebuild. It really does. And I don't know where those people are. I don't, they've kind of left the area. So very, very sad. Let's see. Some chose not to rebuild. Yeah. I think, Jerry, it looked like on that one house I was telling you about, it looked like they had started to rebuild and then decided not to. Feel bad for anyone who loses out. Yes. Same post, Florida hurricanes. Yep. And in Puerto Rico, and I guess in Texas too. Hey, Marlene, good to see you. Appreciate your help, Marlene. The tax reform looks like that is going to be voted on this week. Hopefully it's going to pass. Took 10 years to get normal streets back. That's so crazy, Jerry. There is no Democrat support, supposedly, for the tax reform. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Why is that? Well, because they don't want you to have money in your pocket. They don't want you to have money to spend. They don't want you to have a job. So therefore, they are against it. And they're doing everything they can with their scare tactics to make people feel like they're going to be taxed and their money's going to be cut off, children are going to die, older adults are going to die, everything in the catastrophe is going to happen. None of it's true. And if you know that the Democrats are voting all against it, it's probably a good thing and you should really be happy. Hey, Joyce, how are you? Happy Monday. So, there you go. For most people, you're going to probably, and I say most people sort of in that middle class area. How can anybody be against tax cuts? You are if you're a Democrat, Marianne. The tax cuts will give people about a 3% tax rate break, So if you were like a 25%, you'll probably be down to about 22%. 40% of the people don't pay taxes, Cully said. That's true. That's what we found out before. So, it's a good deal. But a lot of people are going to, on the left, are always going to say that it's a bad deal because they want you to believe that. And a lot of people do. A lot of people have been scared about it. Now, there will be people who will get more. Hey, Amber, those people who have children are going to get a bigger break than the rest of us, okay? That's the way it goes. People who make more money are going to get a less break than the rest of us. That's how it goes. You can't please everybody. Not everybody's going to get the same. We don't live in a socialist country where everybody gets the same thing. That was under Obama. This is a new time, a new era, a new day. We get according to what we pay and according to what, if we have children or not. That's just the way it works. If you like socialism, you need to move to Vermont. Even the senator from West Virginia, Bob, as far as I saw in an article, 0 Democrats are voting for it. I don't know if that's going to hold out and be true or not. I know the Manchin was for it at one point. Your mom taught you life was not always fair. I know, Rhonda, and your mom also didn't give you a trophy for everything that you did. There are winners and losers, but, under Obama, everybody had to have a trophy. So that people have learned that, and they want everything that everybody else gets exactly to the T, or something's not right, they think. The liberals can shove their opinions up their butts, Robin said. They can tell Robin's not feeling well today. So, oh my gosh. Thank you, no trophy if you don't win. I know, seriously, you need to learn that you don't win every time. And that, you know what that means? That means try harder. You may win next time. And you may not. But you just keep trying and you never give up. But now, kids, if you don't get a trophy or if you're not paid, you give up. You didn't get your trophy, Wayne. I don't know. How do you guys feel, those of you who are parents or know people who have kids, how do you feel about paying children for every A they get on their report card? Like every A, you're going to get $5. You're going to get $4 for a B, on down. What do you feel about that? I'd like to hear your opinion. Monique, good morning. I've been listening in on TV while charging the phone and now tuning in on the phone. Good, Monique. Mention is catching heck. He will lose re-election if he doesn't vote yes. Good, Amber. He deserves that. If he doesn't. My mom used to give me $1 per A. Nope, no money, Cully said. Here's the way I look at it. Is McCain going home and not voting on the tax bill? That's correct, Bob. I don't see a problem to reward good grades, Huey said. How do you feel about getting the red? Okay, I'm not going to read that one. My parents paid us. We cheated to get A's. Oh, no. No kids, far too spoiled. Lee said, only the tooth fairy gave me cash. Amber said, yes, money. I am not in favor of giving kids money for their grades. I'm just not. For me, I want people to want to do well, regardless of whether or not there is a monetary reward. I do believe that, if kids get good grades, I think that you should give them should be some type of reward for it or celebration. But I don't believe in giving money for that because the expectation is, well, if I don't get money, I'm just not going to try very hard. I didn't get rewards for good grades. It was just expected. Exactly, Julia. Exactly. And I think that's the best thing to do. I really, really do. It's just like, where people with chores and stuff getting money. As kids, we didn't get money for doing the chores. It was just something that was expected of us to do. Robin says, I don't give my children money for their grades and they make straight A's. We do something special for them at the end of the year. If they do well, even if they get a B, they have made straight A's. And I think that's the good thing to do, Robin. I think it's a great thing. I also think that for people, a lot of people say, well, my kids only make C's and, I don't give them rewards of any kinds for that. We don't celebrate any kind of that. But I don't agree with that. If your child tries the hardest they can possibly try, and I mean doing everything that they can, and they still make C's, then they should be rewarded for that because they tried their hardest. Oh, Marionette, we mentioned that a minute ago about the derailed train in Washington, so it went off a bridge. I think we do, Bob, have enough votes without McCain. We're hoping. We give money for chores, but also require them to earn money for camp. That's good. I got spanked if I didn't try, Carmen said, but that was no matter the grade. So this was straight A minus. Carmen was BC. Off the overpass. That's not good. Monique said my mother would be rolling in her grave if I had kids and paid them. I wouldn't be in favor of it at all. Give them a new pencil or writing tablet. Yeah. I think one of the things, too, and people kind of discount that, is telling your child what a great job they're doing. Periscope's not letting you share, Daniel said. Oh, how great is that? Most I got was a pan pizza for Book It. What's Book It? Never got paid for mowing the grass. Kelly, we never got paid for anything. It was just, you're part of the family. The expectations are that you go out and do stuff, and that's it. You're part of the family. So your job is to do this, 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 and this, and you don't get paid for that. It's an under 40 thing, paying for everything. I believe that's right, Pasha. It's the newer generation. Oh, a reading program. Read so many books, get a pizza. Oh, and that's fair. Kids need to pitch in, part of being a family. Yes. There's a lot of issues I see with kids today. They don't like reading at all, and I find that really sad. Sister was straight A plus all the time. Gotta correct that 4.0. She would kill you, Carmen said. I got paid with food. Oh, no. If you could, with the halfway point, and everybody would retweet this, I would appreciate it. Thank you for doing that. Robin said, I agree. Every child is different, and if they work hard, then reward them at the end of the year for their hard work. Yes, absolutely. Don't like reading because they live on the phones. Marianne, I think that's really true. Thank you, everybody, for sharing. I think that's true. Too many kids are always on their phones. I mean, there are books on the phone. I wish we could get them reading books on the phones, if nothing else. But a lot of kids, it's the saddest thing that they don't read. Good morning, Beck. That is really a detriment to them. They don't understand that, but it's a true detriment. I didn't read it as much as a child, but as I got older, I started reading more and more, and it was really good in doing that. My kids don't have phones, and they read a lot. There you go, Robin. Don't give your kids phones. What do you people on here, on all these platforms, what do you think about giving kids phones? Have we gone too far in doing that? Hey, Wayne, should kids have phones? Should they have phones in school? What are your thoughts on that? Too far, Carmen said. Big Al says, no, my niece started on devices at 2. Oh, my God. No smartphones, no. Easier to hug a book at night than hug a tablet that changes from portrait to landscape. Ruthie said, not in school, no phones. A lot of parents make the excuse that, well, my kid needs a phone in school because if something happens, I want him to have phones. Hidden says, France is about to ban phones in schools. My first book was a child's Bible. I loved it and still have it now. That's great, Lee. Flip phones for safety. Depends on maturity, not till the 7th or 8th grade. What happens is kids are crazy with these phones in school. You give phones for security, yeah. But what happens is that kids take out their phones. They start using them in the classroom. And the parents get really mad a lot of times if you take the phones away from the kids in the classroom. Call out only, no internet. That's good, Cully. That's a good point. My daughter started reading to grandson at 5 days old. Also limited screen time. Rhonda, that's a great idea. Yeah, I think, Cully, you have the best idea. No cell phone But well, and no text messages, I guess. But parents want to be able to text, but they text during class, and they get crazy if you take the phone away from them. I've asked my daughter not to do the phone thing until kids are much older. Social skills, yep. But kids will sit there and they will do that. They will text when the teacher's talking, and it's very disruptive in the class. They aren't allowed in school, or they take them away. That's what most schools are supposed to be that way, Ruthie. But kids absolutely go off the deep end if you take them away. Hey, Bob, how are you? We had a library room and dining room where we had to study. No phone calls, no music, no TV until everyone was finished with homework. Monique said, Robin said, we homeschool and take them everywhere they go. They are always parents to reach us if they need to. That's good. And see, that's the difference between homeschool and having kids in public school. You always know where your kids are and what they're doing because you're either there or one of the homeschool parents are there in case something goes wrong. And that's a really good thing. We survived without phones. Cully, didn't we? Didn't we? Hey, Judy, how are you? I mean, we really did. We somehow managed without having the phones. And in my school, we had riots. We had race riots in my school, and we didn't have phones, and we made it. I know it's a little bit different world. I do know that. But, it seems like we rely too much on the phones or we can't do anything. There's some other good news coming out of California. Basic emergency phone today, you have bomb threats and terrorists. That's right. Race riots. Yes, Beck. Terrible race riots. Talking about bottles, glass, bricks being thrown, girls' hair being set on fire. My boyfriend, and let's see, what grade was that? 6th grade, was held up against the locker by boys on either side and hit in the eye, almost lost his eye. No play until schoolwork is done. Thankfully, I work virtually from home. I am blessed to be at home. You are, Ruthie. Absolutely. Yep, Carmen, it was wild. Yo, shout out, Bob. Bob, you're under a different account. It was horrible, Beck. It was a pretty horrible environment. Hey, Millennial, good to see you. But it went on from middle school through high school. And you never knew when a riot was going to happen. You never knew what was going to happen and who was going to get hurt. Stabbing group, gang punching, I recall. Yep, it was pretty bad, Jerry. So, I mean, yes, it was different from today. They didn't use guns back then, but everything else was used. I don't know, so we didn't have people bringing guns to school. We could only get 3 feet with the phone in my day. Wayne said. Did yours have the crank on it there, Wayne? I mean, I don't understand. This is good news. We talked about last week. Judge Alex Kaczynski, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals judge. Remember we talked about last week, hooked to the cord, there you go. Talked about last week where there were allegations of sexual misconduct allegations against him. Well, he resigned today. So we have somebody from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals who is out of here, which is great news. Hopefully we can get a more conservative individual in there. Hey, Catherine. You were caught up working it out. Okay. Hey, Monty from Sweden. How are you? 2 bells on top. There you go. There you go, Wayne. On a different channel. Couldn't change. Shocker. I know. Yeah, I remember having the phone and, it had a cord on it and your parents heard practically every word you said when you were on the phone. Weren't allowed to use the phone until you were finished. I'm doing great, Monty. Thanks for asking. And, you couldn't really go in a room and have privacy or, talk on the phone at 3 o'clock in the morning. So those were better days. Now we have other people who are now urging Al Franken to reverse his decision. Cully's grandfather is from Sweden. Oh, Marlene hated party lines. Oh, that was crazy, Marlene, I know. In my day, I was limited to 15 minutes on the phone. Ruthie, that was probably the best thing your parents ever did. So that's a good thing. So, party lines. Yeah, do you remember those, Judy? No, not feeling any better, Robin said. Robin, you've got to get better. You were a kid. What were you doing? Your parents couldn't know about. Pfft, my parents knew everything we were doing. And if my parents didn't know, the neighbors would tell them. Because the neighbors would watch all the kids and tell their parents what they were doing. And, that should be the same way. Grandparents had party line. I don't know how long party lines were in existence. I don't remember. But in the South, we had them a long time. And you could tell when somebody picked up. It was funny. And usually, it was your neighbor and somebody you didn't want to hear what you were saying. Good morning, Amanda. Good to see you. Oh, yes, the neighborhood Mrs. Kravitz. Yeah, Robin, you remember. It's funny times. Oh, my gosh. So four senators four people anyway, are urging Al Franken to reverse his decision. And I hate to tell you this, but Joe Manchin is one of them. Only reason Dad gave us a separate phone line in bedroom was to get us off his line. Oh, that's funny. Arrow, that's funny. We had a Mrs. Boatman, same as Mrs. Kravitz. Oh, that's good. Good, Robin. We'll send a tea recipe. Okay, Bob's going to give you a tea recipe. So I hope that Al Franken will not reverse his decision. I'm from Minnesota. We don't want him. There you go, Judy. I don't think anybody wants him except Al. But I was surprised that Manchin came out, and he was one of them, that Joe Manchin, and saying, we want you to stay. Also, Patrick Leahy of Vermont said I guess he told Franken in private that he was sorry he had asked him to resign. Yeah, I think that Al, again, he should have had due process, but it was his decision to resign. And people wanted him to resign, and he went with it, so I think he should stick with that decision. You know why they're asking him to reverse that? Because Roy Moore didn't win. That's exactly why they're saying, Al, why don't you just stay? Hey, Lisa, if Roy Moore had won, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Franken was sorry he got caught, Robin said, yeah. Franken was sorry that there was a camera taking his picture, but I guess he had asked his brother to take the picture. Maybe Manchin has some things in his closet, too. Jerry said, stolen an election in the first place. Hey, Lisa. I know, and Roy Moore is holding on. He is not conceded yet. They're saying that if he plans a recount, he may not be able to get one. Saying it may cost people there in Alabama about $1 million to do a recount. Heard 40 congressmen will be exposed this week. Wow. Amanda said, I agree Susan Franken should go. I'm telling you, there's not going to be anybody left in Congress. It's, and maybe that's a good thing. Let's just get some new people in there. But I tell you, you're going to have to watch out because the men are going to be replaced with women. Okay? So again, men, you better speak up. He has no grounds for a recount. The margin was too great. I've heard different aspects of that hidden, so I don't know. And if there was any fraud that he could allege, that would make a difference. Let's see. Now, there is a Democrat. It's a waste of more to keep hanging on. Is it a waste? It depends on who you are, Robin, and what you think about that. Because if you're Roy Moore, and you know that if you, in your heart, if you feel that you've been violated in that there was fraud committed or, something happened and you would have won otherwise, what are you supposed to do? Go ahead and say, okay, I give up. President Trump wants him to go ahead and concede. So I don't know. I guess at a certain point you have to. Make no mistake, Franken is more than a groper. Why do you say that, Judy? I believe it, but why do you say that? Trump won't get over it, loser. Oh, Trump won't get over it, loser. I heard 3 people arrested in Birmingham for voter fraud. See, I don't know, Amanda. I haven't heard that. And I kind of watch the local papers, but I haven't seen that. I don't know. Again, some of these websites that come out, they're not legitimate websites or, sometimes, and you have to be very careful where you're getting the information. Sometimes it sounds good, that like that video that came out when the guy was saying, "Oh, we all came here to make sure our boy won." He didn't say he committed fraud, voter fraud. Need to get all red on some charges, Cully said. Well, right now she's under examination, if you will, on two bars, one in Washington and one in California, for some things that they feel that she's done inappropriately. Hey, Danielle, and one of the things that they're alleging, I know of a woman afraid to come out with what happened to her with Franken. She should come out, Judy. Now's the time to do it. Encourage her to. Hey, Teresa. Now I forgot what I said. I forgot where I was going, but anyway, maybe it'll come back to me in a second. I hate it when it slips my mind. I'm reading something. There's like so many things. I can't keep it in my head. How are you, Teresa? Oh, okay. So there's a Democrat who's in trouble right now. Matt Damon. He basically came out and said, oh, wow, injuries and casualties on that high-speed Amtrak train derail. Yeah, that's in Washington, Jackie. Matt Damon came out and said, I think we're kind of, he didn't say it this way, but what he meant was, I think we're going overboard a little bit with all these men being asked to resign or shunned or whatever the case may be. And he was trying to make the case for the fact that there are some differences between a guy who, let's see, grabs a woman's behind, or a man like Weinstein who is accused of all of these various things that they're doing. And of course, when he said that, he was attacked. And so I think he stepped in it, and they're never going to let him live it down now. So if, what do you guys think? Yeah, he's right, Alexa said. Robin said, of course there was fraud, but I don't know what more should do. Yeah. The thing of it is, you got these things from 30 to 40 years ago saying a guy who was in the cab touched my leg. Should that guy have to resign as CEO or whatever? Between Weinstein and a smile, little flirt, I agree with him. But see, the women on the left don't agree with him at all. Albright, under investigation. Allred, Monique. Allred, Gloria Allred, under investigation. And maybe her daughter's going to be under investigation if the allegations are true that she offered to pay somebody $750,000 to come out against President Trump. So I don't know. Yeah, leader. I mean, a lot of people believe there is a total difference, but the people who are, that's what I was just talking about, Amanda. The people who are talking about, who've been harassed are saying, look, Matt Damon, you've never been groped. You've never been sexually harassed, so you don't know. The 70s were different also. But, Judy, nobody seems to care. Damon gave no grace to Trump for his words. He just wants his lefty buddies to get off. Yeah, Julia, but he wasn't for Weinstein. He didn't say that Weinstein should get a pass. He was saying those people who, touch your shoulder, touch your butt, whatever, that they're different than kind of like the Weinsteins. And the women on the left went crazy over it. Carmen said she'd grope Matt Damon, LOL. You can have him, Carmen. He's a Democrat. Minnie Driver had a pop at him, but I believe she has also had an abusive relationship at some point. Huh. Yeah, I know they used to date or something like that. He wouldn't dare defend Weinstein now. Yeah, okay, Beck, thank you. Have a great day. The women on the left are crazy. Robin said, I'd make him a Republican. Carmen said. Good morning, Rob. How are you? There would be no men working if they all were exposed. I'm telling you, man, it's going to come to that, it seems like. I think it's kind of like all the men are going to be washed away and all the women are going to take their places. We have different degrees of murder for murder, too. Yeah, we do. That we do, Seeked. But the women on the left don't see it that way. If you've done anything that is sexual misconduct at all, you should go. That's how they see it. And interesting enough, at the global, the women are just as bad. Well, a man and not according to them. At the Golden Globes, I guess, they're going to be wearing black for all the women who have been victims of sexual harassment. I know every single woman at Woodstock could claim inappropriate behavior. Absolutely. So it's interesting to me that Meryl Streep is going to be black, will be wearing black, when she, stood up and clapped for, Harvey Weinstein and everybody else that's probably sexually assaulted everybody in Hollywood. And now all of a sudden, they're going to wear black. And now all of a sudden, she's going to wear black because of the poor victims. Excuse me, Meryl, you've been an actress how many years? And you're just now going to be wearing black to sort of stand with the women who have been sexually harassed. How come you didn't come out a long time ago? You'd let Meryl Streep harass you. Oh, okay, stink pickle. See, I just think that she is just such a hypocrite. Yeah, there you go, Amanda. We're thinking alike. They'll look like real witches, bring broomstick to complete the ensemble, Jerry said. Hey, Barbara. No problem, Barbara. Yeah. That's what a lot of women want. I don't think that's true, Stink. Whoever said that. I don't think that's true. Truth be told, this is not helpful to victims. Judy, what it does is for people who are true victims, they will not receive justice because, those people who were really hurt will be damaged by women coming out saying, "Oh, he touched me, he looked at me, he touched my hair, whatever." Robin said she's a hypocrite like the rest of Hollywood. Yeah, Barbara said, true. Streep has previously been called out on bad behavior by men. I'm not surprised. And again, Mariah Carey. How come nobody's bringing up Mariah Carey? Harassment, why was I limited just now? I have no idea, Alexis. I don't know who limited you. It wasn't me. Somebody in the group. It could be a troll. As we were talking about, more and more women are coming out and being the ones who are being accused. Andrea Ramsey, a Democratic candidate for Congress, will drop out of the race after the Kansas City Star asked her about accusations in a 2005 lawsuit. Did Streep call out buddy Dustin Hoffman? No. And Dustin Hoffman now, there's 5 women that recently came forward and some underage who claim that sexual misconduct with him. Accusations in a lawsuit that she sexually harassed and retaliated against a male subordinate who said he had rejected her advances. Multiple sources with knowledge of the case told the Star that the man reached a settlement with Lab 1, the company where Ramsey was executive vice president of human resources. Court documents show that the man, Gary Funkhauser, and Lab 1 agreed to dismiss the case permanently after mediation in 2006. Well, I don't know, Carmen, just because actors they can act well too. You know what I'm saying? So, Chris Matthews is also under fire. NBC paid money to a female staffer in 1999 who accused him of sexual harassment. And the network kept mum about it Sunday about whether there were other women who had accused him of inappropriate behavior. So, the Daily Caller first reported that Matthews paid $40,000 to the woman who worked on the show Hardball with Chris Matthews as an assistant producer. The spokesperson told NBC News that the execs were told that Matthews made inappropriate jokes and comments about the woman in front of others, and that the matter was reviewed and it was determined the comments were inappropriate and made in poor taste but were never meant as propositions. So it sounds like that Chris may get a pass. Someone can say sexual harassment over a mere flirt here days of Yes. I'm telling you, you had best not say or do anything. Don't joke with people at work about anything that has anything to do with men or women or people in general. Because you're never going to know what somebody may take and say, oh, it was sexual harassment or sexual misconduct in some way. Thank you, Gary. Thanks for coming by. So, also, you remember Anita Hill and the big Clarence Thomas case? Well, in their efforts to battle gender inequality and sexual harassment in the film industry, 24 top entertainment executives have come together to form a fund called the Commission on Sexual Harassment and Advancing Equality in the Workplace. And rumor has it that they want Anita Hill to be the chairman of the commission. No way joking around with Susan. Yeah, don't joke with me. I'll get you for sexual harassment, Wayne, because you're right in front of me in the screen, so doesn't that count? Merry Christmas. It was so great this weekend going out. Almost everybody, every store I went into, people said Merry Christmas. Yep, wear sunglasses, keep your hands in your pockets. There you go, Cully. See, Cully knows how to stay safe and not be accused. Same Anita Hill, the Coke can lady? That's right, Jerry. Because don't you know, she's so great, and now she's back. She was so great with Clarence Thomas and trying to take him down that they want her as the chairperson. I know, I love it. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Lee, it was so great. I mean, you don't know, in California, for years and years and years, nobody at the checkout line said Merry Christmas at all. Everyone is saying Merry Christmas. Cashiers at Walmart sing carols. I know, Amanda. It was unbelievable. I'm like, Merry Christmas. I was so happy. I couldn't believe it. Everybody was saying Merry Christmas. I haven't heard that in, I don't know, 15, 20 years. Seriously. Because what would happen is every Christmas at the checkout line, the cashier would look at me and say Happy Holidays, and I would say Merry Christmas. And they would be stunned, and they wouldn't respond. I bet Bill Cosby is not feeling lonely now. I know, Ruthie. It is awesome. I never stopped saying it either, Carmen. I never stopped saying it either, but a lot of people did. I love the USA with Trump as president. I know, Barbara. Whew. They are still stunned here, Marlene said. Oh. Here's some good news, too, that's supposed to come out today. President Trump is unveiling the America First National Security Strategy today. What it will do is, the goal is to protect the homeland and our way of life, promote American prosperity, demonstrate peace through strength, and advance American influence in our ever-competitive world. I mean, seriously, he may as well has already unveiled that plan, because that's what his whole presidency so far has been about. America first, us first, making sure that we're competitive, making sure that we're safe, making sure that our way of life is preserved. I mean, it's great. Just continue on doing what you've been doing. That's all you need to do. Yeah, I love our president too. Getting rid of global warming. Oh. Yeah, Miami, you can shake your head. Yes, we do believe him. Yet people still do not believe as we win. I know. Barbara, they can't name anything that he's done that they shouldn't like, right? I mean, taxes, businesses coming back, unemployment's down. Does anyone know who chose Anita Hill? Supposedly the people in that group. And it sounds like they were from Hollywood types. I don't know, but that's what it sounds like. So everything President Trump has done has been amazing. It really has. Right down to declaring that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel and acknowledging it. I mean, come on. What has he done that has been bad, that hasn't helped you? I was a bell ringer for Salvation Army at Walmart and a couple other places, wished everyone a Merry Christmas and sang Christmas carols at each place. That's great, Monique. I know, we need to hear that more. That made my day. I know. It's amazing what he has done. And taking care of ISIS. Lots of judges getting appointed now. Guess they cannot hold back on them anymore. Yeah, Barbara, I really can't find a reason to, I guess. Judy says, love that. Yeah, I think it's great. And I also heard that according to the AP, a senior Trump administrative official said they outlined their view on Friday that Jerusalem's western wall ultimately will be declared a part of Israel in another declaration that's sure to inflame, passions among the Palestinians and others in the Middle East. So that would be great, kind of returning the western wall, declaring it to be a part of Israel. That'll really make people crazy. And who knows? I mean, that's from the AP, and it's from supposedly a Trump administration official, so that may not be true. Well, guys, we are out of time. Thank you so much for your support. Please retweet this if you will. God bless Israel. Absolutely. God bless our president. God bless the United States of America. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Please retweet and share. I will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care. God bless. God bless everybody on YouTube. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. God bless.